tonight because I got a lot of shit on my mind tonight that I'm going to talk about. First of all, Ravens finally did it up tonight, did not piss down their legs and give it away in the fourth quarter. But we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Welcome. I am Vegas Rosie, week number something, I don't know, 8, week number 8 in the NFL and week number 9 for college football. And it was exciting. I am YouTube's one and only transgender sports betting handicapper, and we are in the thick of football season right now. And I need to maintain my focus on that. I know people are asking about NHL. What do you think about NHL? What do you think about, the World Cup coming up? I understand all that stuff is coming up. But it's not like I'm rolling in money here, guys. All right, so let's hit that thumbs up button. And if you're coming in tonight, and for those of you who are watching on the after chat as we slowly build a following here for the sports chat. And in the future, I hope to have a call-in show, too, where people can call in and we can rant and rave and be pissed off together. Like I got Jeffrey Giordano. He's like, what the hell happened? My Steelers, they pissed down their leg. They didn't win tonight. Well, all I can say to you, Jeffrey Giordano, is at least you're not in Tampa, dude. Or at least you're not in Green Bay. They're going to be in there tearing the seats out of Lambeau Field and down there in Tampa. Right? Pissed it all away. What's up, Queenstown kid? Welcome to the chat. Where's P2E Phillies make it to the World Series? Do it up. I mean, the Yankees are getting close to getting their asses yeeted out of the playoffs there. Nothing against the Yankees, right? The best teams money can buy. Look what happened to the Dodgers. Right? It happens to the best of people. Let's crack a beer, guys. Let's cut the bullshit and let's get down to business here tonight. Now, generally, as I usually do, I'm going to start with the NFL because I need to work up a head of steam because I went 7-10 on this weekend in college because I had dumb teams that were pissing away, and I was stupid, okay? I'm going to say that I was dumb. Let's get to the NFL scores tonight. And wow, what a year in the NFL. The freaking parity is, up and down. I mean, it's, you talk about lumpy, and what do I mean by lumpy? It means one team, one week you look like Alabama, and you're fighting with Georgia for number 1 spot, and then all of a sudden you're number 4. I mean, when's the last time Alabama was rated number 4? And, okay, just don't panic. Don't get pissy, but maybe there is a reason to panic because out of the West comes a dark horse that I'm going to be talking about because I think it bears note. All right, let's get the NFL scores going here. All right, so today we had the Chiefs and 49ers. Even with the brand new running back, I can't remember the dude's name. It's the first time he got his hands on the ball, he scored a touchdown or whatever. The Chiefs took care of business, 44-23 against the 49ers here. Hey, let me tell you what. Injuries. It's a hell of a way to run a railroad when it's just injuries after injuries after injuries. So they're just going to have to contend with the fact that because of the injuries, they've now become a second tier, the great middle grounds of teams, many of them in there. The Seahawks, I told you guys keep an eye on the Seahawks. They seem to be gelling into form here, and they've been starting to impress me week after week because they're finding a way to win. And tonight they won 37-23 against the Chargers team that's, well, welcome to Lumpyville, dude. Right? You look like Super Bowl champs one week and you look like the local high school JV the next week. Right? Got to grab your nuts, go out and play football and decide if you're going to be Lumpy Rutherford from Leave It to Beaver or whether you're going to be like June Cleaver and smooth as silk out there and get the job done. Yeah, Russell Wilson. What's up, AJ? Russell Wilson gone. Okay. Steelers and Dolphins. Hey, no shame in the game of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm just saying. Okay, I know we got this on the horizon. Mike Tomlinson, guess what's coming to town, baby? I get it. All right, don't shed a tear. They're not going anywhere this year, okay? But there's always next year. Hey, Nino, how you doing? Yeah, thumbs up are appreciated tonight. All right, let's get to the rest of the games here because I did catch the early ones today. We did see that the Cardinals took care of business against the Saints. Two more lumpy train, right? And you wonder why it's so hard to beat the book in the NFL and to beat the spread 2.5, 3, 4 points, 6 points, or whatever. It is super hard because you don't know which team is going to come out on the field. But you don't know whether it's going to be the Cardinals where everybody's going nuts and Murray's running like a mofo and scoring, or lumpy JV team, the lumpy Rutherfords come out to play. Same thing with the Saints. I mean, I don't think we're going anywhere. We're just like, we're like in a, what do they call that? A sideshow. We're just spinning. We're just raking in the NFL money and we're spinning like a sideshow in downtown Santa Rosa. Okay, that's all we're doing. Browns and Ravens. Ravens finally grabbed their nuts and they decided that there is two halves to the football, two halves of the game. And they came back and actually managed to hang on and win a game despite the fact that Chubb has gone crazy. You know, he's probably the greatest running back in the NFL this year. And slapping everybody silly, running the ball. You don't want to tell you. If you look, yeah, this is what it is. If you're a safety or you're a cornerback, you're 175 pounds, you're fast, you're light, you got pretty teeth, and you're like, I'm not going to tackle this guy. Right? 215 pounds, 5'8". You think I'm going to tackle this guy? Man, I'm beautiful. I'm just going to just piss down my leg, just give a little shot like I tried to grab the guy, okay? But the Ravens found a way to get it done today. Now, don't take too much out of that. Because when it comes to seats on the lumpy train, they're right there. Puke bags will be handed out for the second half of the season. They're right there on the lumpy train going through. But they won today. They're 4-3. They sit atop a very mangled division out there, okay? Panthers and Buccaneers, holy shit. Told you guys. Panthers, okay? Told you guys last week Wednesday, when we're looking at the games, I'm a little bit shaky on Tampa Bay now because Tom Brady's head is not in the game. And now he's in the vicious loop where he reads the press. And the press is saying, Tom, you're not in the game, bro. Your head is elsewhere. And that's getting him more steamed and more pissed off. I can tell you one thing. Good night, Jeffrey. This will be his last season in the NFL. If he makes it to the end. And it's not clear to me that he might tell a linebacker, hit me, take me out of my misery. It's over. Like Johnny Unitas, like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, you get to a certain point, you lose a little of the zip, you lose a little of the field vision, and all you're effectively doing is just starting to tarnish your reputation. Are you going into the Hall of Fame? Yeah, you're going into the Hall of Fame. But do you want to have the tailwind behind you, or do you want people to say, oh my God, I'm glad this guy got the hell out. Well, you know, another year we would have been tearing the seats out of the stadium down in Tampa. Okay, bad news, man. They put 3 points on the board today. Panthers win 21-3. Falcons and Bengals. Bengals are pretty quality. You know, I'm the one that talked up the Falcons, and look at this. Third seat on the Lumpy Express right there, the Falcons. Man, I don't know who in the hell is showing up for the Falcons. I hate the NFL. I hate the it's It's so fucked up there. I mean, I hate to say that, okay? But the Bengalis did do it today. We got the Cowboys and the Lions. I'm listening to, some other sports analysts through the week, sports bettors, and they're talking about, oh, this is the game. This is the one you got to get on. You're getting the points. You're getting the Lions to go in and rejuvenate themselves. Yeah, that's it, Chef. And what happens today? The Lions come to town, and it's like the same movie. I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie Paper Tiger. That's exactly, you might as well have sent Alan Alda out there as George Plimpton. I don't even want to talk about that game. If I talk about that game, I feel like I went to a sewage treatment plant and the whole place blew up on me. What am I going to say? Rosie, find something good to talk about the Lions win. I don't know. Their uniforms look good at the beginning. At the beginning of the game. All right, but then almost right off the bat, they piss down their leg and the game is over. They can't tackle. Running after people like Dua Lipa on the field, putting one hand out like you're high-fiving or something out of Michael Jackson's Thriller, putting up your hands to scare the wide receiver, I mean, it just didn't gel, okay? All right, Giants and Jaguars. I have to say, although I started with high hopes of the Jaguars this year, they're just lacking a few of the pieces to get them out of Lumpyville and the great mix of calm and swill out there. Whereas the Giants, as they proved last week when they played the Ravens, they're finding ways to win games, and that's a good thing. Okay, so they're coming together and really looking like they're really gelling as a team. Of course, that's going to cost you in the way of points. Right now, you're going to have to lay 7.5 instead of 3, right? There's no free lunches around here, okay? Packers and Commanders. Oh, God. I think I need some beer for this one. Let me tell you, Aaron Rodgers, you're pissed off, you're angry, you're looking for somebody to blame out there in football land. And you know what? You guys have been spoiled up there at Lambeau and up in the Green Bay Packers for the past 15 years with greatness. So you want to take the old dude, you want to get him out of his chair, get him up, prop him up, and tell him just throw the ball and let's get back. Let's get back. Yeah, the Commoders. Let's get back to the Super Bowl again. Hey man, easier said than done. And say what you will, Chef. And Chef said, I think they should have named them the Commoders. I want to tell you what. The Commoders, even though they got rid of Wentz and whatever, went out, backup guy comes in, he starts pissing down his leg, throwing the ball away. And all of a sudden, he has that come to the Lord moment. And he decides, I'm a pro football player. I'm going to stop pissing down my leg. And I'm going to start playing. Grab my nuts and play the game. And he's got the Commanders moving like Carson Wentz couldn't get them moving. And they beat the Packers. Now, is that significant? I don't know. It's too early to evaluate that with the quarterback situation. But it's going to be, what is that? Whoa. Oh shit, I hear the chill winds of Lambeau Field in November and December. Let me tell you, brother, you're going to have people tearing the seats out of that stadium and throwing it on the field. Flan said, 4 of the 5 top quarterbacks of all time retired. Drew, Big Ben, the Manning brothers, each one of them teams sucks right now, and some with parts when Brady left. 1 field goal today, that's right, Flan. Woe to the town, and I've been through it with the Orioles and you know, the sad Colts when they were falling apart, when that dickhead Robert Ursay owned the team and he didn't put a penny into it, and it just all screwed up, right? And ended up leaving town and in the wilderness for years. I know what it's like to be back in a losing team. All right, it feels good when you win. Fingers are going to start to be pointed in Tampa Bay. Who's to blame? Came in on top of the world this year, and right now you're leaving in body bags. All right, that's the way I see. Colts and Titans, I don't care. You give a shit, right? Raiders put it up today on the Texans, 38-20. I don't know if it's too late. I don't know. I'm starting to feel a little bit of that Raiders shuffle. But probably as usual, they'll find a way to shoot themselves in the sack. And I don't know. You guys want to bet this stuff? I say best of luck to you. Jets and Broncos. Surprised the Broncos kept that close with the Jets, but the Jets are looking. Started to stir at the beginning of the year when the Ravens play in Flacco. It was lumpy. But I got to tell you what, it's looking pretty smooth out there now as far as the Jets are concerned. So I think if you can get a good price on the Jets, I don't think that they're going to be a lumpy team. I think that they are going to be in every single game for the remainder of the year. Chiefs and 49ers, we talked about that. The Niners, yeah, the Broncos are wheels off. And I want to tell you something, Shep, and I want to rant about quarterbacks. Is it so stupid that Steve Bostic, the owner of the Ravens, refused to do the deal with Lamar Jackson before the season started? He gambled. This guy wants 200 million plus contract. Okay, I'm going to call your bluff. We're not going to do the deal. You got a year left on your contract here. Go out and play. Takes all the pressure off the Ravens and it puts it on Jackson. Okay. To me, that's pretty smart dealings. And I say the same thing when it comes to like Russell Wilson, the pay to get to Denver. I don't know if it's a great incentive, because now when Russell Wilson goes to press conferences, head down, fuck you guys, you know, it's a bad situation. We'll see what happens next week. Thanks. He doesn't even recognize some of the sports writers that from the Denver Post and other ones that usually, yeah, and I don't understand that, Flan. He's not completing his passes, but I just don't know. But let that be a lesson for NFL teams. If you tie it all up into a quarterback and stuff, and you, let's face it, the hopes for the Denver Broncos were up here this year, and now they're lumpy, they're in the swill, they're not getting it done, they don't know where their nuts are to grab them, and they're not pulling together anymore as a team. They're looking ahead to the end of the year, cashing the paychecks, going down to Jamaica, right, touring out on the rum farms and having a good winter off. Wouldn't you? All right. We talked about Steelers and Dolphins. Tomorrow night we got the Bears and the Patriots, so I think the Patriots will probably do it up on that one. Fields is just not blessed to have a good team around him. Let's get to the college stuff, okay? Scores PF. Would you like to be the guy that makes two of the vegetable? No, I don't want to see. I don't want to do that. You know, like Queenstown kids said, would you like to be the guy? Let's say that you're a defensive end or something. You're an edge rush, and you go in and you cream Tua, and he's got this shit again, and he ain't coming out of it. And Queenstown said, would you like to be the guy that makes Tua Tagovailoa a vegetable one more time? He hits trouble, scared him, see him back. The guy does not have an elite enough line. I mean, they got the job done. But everybody's real soft now, and ooh, you know, the offensive line's really guarded now, and they're sacrificing their own nuts, you know, to protect him and stuff. It's not a great situation. Can they round into the playoffs? I don't know. But this guy goes one more hit in that, and that's going to be the end of putting a finger on that quarterback. There's going to be a box, and if you're in the box, you can't touch the guy. Yeah, he can stand there all day looking for the open receiver, but so can the other quarterback. Right? People are tired of their $50 million bonus baby being carted off, you know, clutching for the sky. Right? And they're going to do some rules that's it. We just throw the ball, and you better have good defenders, and that's it. Our quarterback ain't going to go out anymore. Great as far, but I like that guy as far as having faith in being elite. You know, it came out years later, Shep, that Russell Wilson was actually the one in the Super Bowl that called that stupid last-minute pass play. And Pete Carroll absorbed the hit. The coach of the Seahawks took responsibility for that. But that was a play that was called on the line by Russell Wilson at that particular time. Right. I'm just saying, but he didn't come through as a stand-up guy and say, okay, man, don't listen to Pete. I called the play. Well, I don't know. Yeah, it comes out now that Russell Wilson was the one that made the call on the line. For whatever it's worth. NCAA scores, and let me rant about a couple things here. Look, people are going nuts. Let me just make a few generalizations. If you're Texas A&M, who I bet on, and the South Carolina Gamecocks, now that's on me because I didn't do enough research on the injuries and who the line is and all that kind of shit. And you got Jimbo Fisher, the coach for Texas A&M, being paid a lot of money. And people always go, oh, the money, the money, the money, the money, the money. Like something out of Vegas Vacation. The money. People are all focused on that. All right. But when your offensive line, and this is on me, I'm not going to be like Wilson, and I'll take the hit, man. Insufficient research on this game. All right. Let's talk. The first quarter was like a JV team against a Super Bowl champion. I mean, they're fumbling the ball away. The ball's bouncing off of the A&M quarterback's leg. It's pissing down his leg. They're trying to I mean, they gave what, like 21 to nothing they're down? In the first quarter? You're not coming back from that. All right. And then failure to do the research that the offensive line for Texas A&M is all freshmen. Okay, and you're coming face to face with seniors, redshirt 10-year guys that have started there in 1989. You know, they've been playing for 32 years. They're still redshirt. And you're standing on a line like this, and you're not pissing down your leg. Somehow, amazingly, Texas A&M fought South Carolina to a standstill. But they were so deep, I know the Queenstown kid, they were so deep into that game at that point that there's no clawing back. In the NCAA, with the top power, if you're down by 21 points in the first quarter, you're not coming back. It's not like Frank Reich and University of Maryland coming back from 31 points down against Miami. Don't tell me that bullshit, okay? That's fairy tale nonsense. Sorry. That first quarter, if you saw that like I did, I'm just like looking at that like, oh my God, Halloween came early. Look at this shit. They're throwing the ball away. Knocking the fucking ball over his head. I mean, nobody knows. It's as bad as Ohio. It's as bad as Iowa with their stupid fake punt, right? The guy's going so slow, and he pisses down his leg, and he runs right into three linebackers. Oh, I didn't make the first down. He's throwing his helmet off. Like, really, dude? You should be on the stage of opera at the New York Metropolitan with that show. All right, here we go. Let's wrap up this ugly ass week. So we got Appalachian State and Georgia State. I drank the Kool-Aid on that. I thought App State, the wheels kind of came off their cart a little bit. James Madison fiasco and all that. What's up, Luce? And App State came out and kicked and decimated Georgia State. Okay, down. I'm down. I'm 7-10 this week. I'm pissing down my leg. I'm already behind. Virginia, Georgia Tech. Of course, I got Virginia Tech. All right, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Even though Virginia's been rounding into form as a defense, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid because of the way that Georgia Tech took care of business against Duke. Okay, I'm using the transitive property. If A beat B and C is playing B and A is playing B and C and whatever, right? I mean, Georgia Tech couldn't move the ball. I don't think they advanced the ball past the 50-yard line in the second half. I don't know. Virginia didn't do much better, but they did enough to win the game. Troy and South Alabama. Troy did enough to get the job done. South Alabama couldn't advance the ball. But again, Troy is money in my pocket, week in and week out. Flying under the radar at 6-2, they find a way to get the job done. Are they elite? Hell no. But do they rule the barnyard of lumpy teams? Yeah, they rule the barnyard of that. You want to give me points with Troy, I'm going to take them. All right, TCU. I've been on that train. We're going to talk about TCU. Don't steal my thunder. Because I'm ranting right now, Luce. We got the Swami in the chat. Luce72 here. How you doing, Luce? Very proud of Troy. No expectations this year and have come out and have performed well. Performed magnificently. The defense has performed magnificently. The offense, just enough to get the job done. Give me points and Troy and a non-elite team, and we'll do it up. Tulsa and Temple. I thought the Hurricanes. Wait, 3-4 and 2-5 Temple. All right, so they must have been cooking hot dogs in the seat. All 10 people with that. What the hell, man? What are you doing? Serving s'mores, to get people to the stadium? I don't know. I don't even consider betting these kids. Yes, Troy from Alabama. No offense to Temple or Tulsa. But I think I'd rather be beaten to death with half-cooked linguine noodles than sit there and watch Temple and Tulsa play. UAB in Western Kentucky. Kentucky was rolling good early. I think, Luce, if I'm not incorrect, they actually made it into the top 25 at one point. Maybe. Because, of course, they threw up 70 points in the early game. I think that they cracked the top 25 in, week 3. Maybe week 4. And they've been pissing down their leg. Can't find their nuts. But they did find a way to win 20-17 this week. Not my favorite team. Indiana, stick a fork in that mess. Dumpster fire. My hopes were so high. And Rutgers goes in there. This is Indiana's ass. This is Rutgers' foot. I don't know how Indiana became a dumpster fire, but I had my worries at game 1 when Illinois was victimized by shitty referee calls. Illinois should have won that game, gone away. And we know they're a quality team. Chase Brown and all that. But I knew something was crooked about the team, especially when they're playing at home. They weren't playing at home, but they got their asses handed to them again. Iowa and Ohio State. What the hell was I thinking? 30 points. I'm thinking I got this in the bag. First quarter, I'm looking good. Second quarter, I'm looking good. Iowa's staying strong, and then the wheels just fall off the cart. Hey, Mute, which tells me again, you should not violate the basic principle of betting college football, which is this. No matter how good the defense is, you must score points. Okay, they had some turnovers. They had some action early on. But you take a solid team like Ohio State that's a fairly good defense, proved that they were, who knows? Iowa's not an offense. You have a quarterback that faces the wrong way on the field. You got a coach, and the coach's son is the offensive coordinator. Dizzy and Daffy, the pride of Iowa. No offense to you guys. But these father-son combos never work out. Brothers, the Harbaugh brothers, yeah, they can work out. Right. And I'm thinking, Iowa, they're doing good. They're grabbing their nuts halftime. They're only down 12 points or something like that. I'm thinking I'm good. I'm 29, blew it apart. You've got to be able to score points because your defense is on the field 3 quarters at a time. 3 quarters at a time. That's not good for the defense. And after a while, they are just tired of 68 plays or whatever, and they're beaten to a pulp out there. Every time the Ohio State offense comes on the field, they know it's battering time. Bend over, boys. Here we go again. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Oof. Ooh, thank you. And they're beat to a frazzle because Ohio State comes on fresh, rested. They're reading, they're searching their social media. They're looking at porn. They're having a great time. Wait until they go in again. All right. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. I drank the Kool-Aid. Okay? Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Kansas and Baylor. I need a beer for this one. I can't beat Iowa because what are you going to do when a father-son, what are you going to do when you have a father who's a son and his coach is the offensive coordinator? The offensive coordinator is making $1 million a year. This kid's thinking I just got to hang on to this gravy train like a Union Pacific freighter going down the road. Going down the rail bed. I just got to hang on because I know I'm going to get my ass bounced off this train. But I'm going to put a couple million in the pocket on the way. I mean, what a clean house. All right. Get an offensive coordinator that knows where his balls are. Get in there, grab your nuts, and get some offense going. Pair it with a great defense, and you might go someplace. Okay? Kansas. I never drank the Kool-Aid this year. A.J. Daniels, I didn't drink the Kool-Aid. And I've been rewarded this year. It's been fun for the people out in Kansas, and I'm happy for you. You've enjoyed it. It's been a pain express for the last few weeks, and it's going to continue to be painful coming up. Okay. All the stars aligned. Looking good, cheerleaders looking happy. They're shaking them out there. Ooh, we're going to be the NCAA champions for 2022-23. What did you say? Baylor just came in and kicked our ass, and they were 3-3. Right. Hanging if you Jimmy Hoffa, they kind of just get as good while you got. That's exactly right, Chef said. It's like hanging on to the whole deal. If you're Jimmy Hoffa on the Teamsters Union, you know what's coming at the end, but you're just hanging on. Hey, gas can. Right, exactly correct. Tennessee, Martin in Tennessee. God, man. So bad to schedule these interstate matches. Right, everybody gets excited for 3.4 minutes, 3 minutes and 40 seconds because Martin's up 7-0, and oh my God, it's going to be an upset. By the third quarter, Tennessee's got their third, their depth. Get in there and get some reps. Right, you're a loser, but get in there. Army rolling against Louisiana Monroe, Clemson. My respect level for Syracuse has gone up. I hated this team. The quarterback for Clemson looks slow and plodding to me, and Clemson is just Syracuse. There's no pizzazz to the team. It's like a guy that packs his lunch bucket, grabs his nuts, goes into the mill, and does the job. How did you do that, man? Well, I'm experienced. Okay. All right, good night, Barry. But Clemson is 8-0, and they're a good, solid team. I was checking out old time, spooky back, pretty cool. Okay, good. We're trying to find our nuts here and get it done on the show tonight. So Clemson continues to roll along. I don't think Syracuse embarrassed themselves 27-20. They win ugly. I can't back teams that win ugly. Sorry. Navy and Houston, no comment. Cincinnati and SMU. SMU's a dumpster fire now. And the Bearcats are 6-1. You get the points. You get a close spread. You get a little bit. Lay a little bit. Take a little bit of points, and they're a solid bet. There's no lumpiness in their program. They're one of those beautiful. That's it, Flan. Grab your nuts. They're one of those beautiful teams that flies below the radar screen. And you can probably make money on them week in and week out because they're going to be solid. Kent State, Akron, who cares? Toledo and Buffalo. Damn, man. Shit. Toledo's up 27-17 and 27 to, I don't know. They're winning by 10 points with like 5 minutes. It just the wheels blew off. First time one of my Toledo bets crashed and burned this year. Yeah, I had Toledo laying the points, and they were looking good till we got backdoored in the fourth quarter, and that was all over. Because I guess Buffalo is a pretty good team. Now, Buffalo had only given up 14 points in the last two games before this one, and they gave up 27 points to Toledo. Maybe Toledo takes something from the game. They're not an elite team. But they've shown people a good time in Toledo, Ohio. Okay, Ohio's had a great year for football this year. Okay? Lost. Duke and Miami. Duke wins 45-21. I have been on Duke every single week. I think that Mike Elko is one of the most underrated coaches in NCAA football. I think that in another year or two, now he's going to have a very easy time recruiting very high-powered talent next year. Because he's proven he can take a school that didn't win anything the year before and turn them into a team to be feared. And they have taken care of business. And they're never blown out of a game. They're always tight. And they were like a 8-point dog going into Miami, and they won in a laugher 45-21. They've got a great young quarterback who's a true sophomore, not one of these 10-year red shirt guys. It's 28 years old playing. Keep an eye on Duke. You get a few points. Are they elite level? No. But they could give elite teams a pretty decent game and not blow apart. Okay, and that's saying something. All Bowling Green in Central Michigan. I cashed out on Central Michigan. I won in week 1, and they've been nothing but a disappointment ever since. They're a mess. What's up, JR? I haven't gotten to it yet. I had UCLA. I got a lot to say about that. UNLV and Notre Dame 44-21. I don't know what the point spread on that was. Notre Dame advances to 4-3, and UNLV's coming down to earth at 4-4 on the year. I think Notre Dame's going to have a very good team next year. I really do. West Virginia and Texas Tech. This is going to figure into my betting this week in West Virginia, and I can tell you right now I'm going to fade them. Yeah, Central Michigan went down the toilet. I don't know what the hell happened. They played Oklahoma State pretty damn good the second half. They came back. They covered the spread. And then they couldn't find their nuts again, and it all went as. It was just a bloody mess. It just was an explosion of a dumpster fire up in Central Michigan, and I don't know. West Virginia, I guess I had such high hopes for Daniels, JT Daniels coming in from Georgia. Started out great, really nice game against Pitt opening up, and it's really not been, I mean, they beat Virginia Tech. I saw that game. It was closer than it should have been. But I guess it's a train to Lumpyville with them. Okay, it's depressing. I am depressed for West Virginia football. Okay, I don't think Neil Brown is going to be around coaching next year. I don't think so. That's just my thought. Texas Tech went in there and dismantled them. 48-10, Texas Tech at home. I don't care what anybody says. There's no coming back from that kind of loss if you're West Virginia, which is going to have me mark my card for this week. Yeah, Tennessee, and they laughed at me on somebody's, Lou said, Tennessee busted Pittsburgh's balls. They never took Tennessee seriously, and they told me I was crazy that Pittsburgh had that game won all over Tennessee until I gently reminded them the second half of the game, they're carrying out Pitt's offensive players injured, including the quarterback. Tennessee plays for keeps, folks. All right, where is Pitt gone? Stick down, baby. Right down into the ground, right there. High hopes again. A depressing year in Pittsburgh. Rice and Louisiana Tech, who cares? Maryland slid by Northwestern. They're 6-2. I think, I don't know. Maryland's better than the Maryland I grew up with, and they still have their moments of brilliance and stuff, but they're nice and lumpy, but they are 6-2. If the kickoff returner for Maryland hadn't have bounced the ball off his helmet, Maryland gave Michigan the best game that they had this year, truth be told, because damn straight Penn State didn't give it to them. Okay, just saying. So if I get points in Maryland, it's always a crapshoot. Oklahoma State beating Texas. Why is that a surprise? People are weeping and gnashing their like Texas should have taken care of business. The quarterback is back for Texas. So it doesn't matter, man. You saw the way that TCU and Oklahoma State battled. Man, this is a big boys game. This is not a game for boys in short pants. Okay, I'm fired up. I got a lot to say. I went 7-10 and it was painful. I'm now 43-33 on the season. Damn right I'm fired up. So why are people crying in their beer down in Texas because they lost to Oklahoma State? Oklahoma State's a good team, man. They're going to be figuring somewhere in the mix in here. All right. BYU and Liberty 41-14. Liberty 7-1. I wonder what they're smoking down there. Down there in Virginia. Liberty's playing some mean-ass football, man. I got to start keeping my eye on Liberty. Of course, there's going to be the overreaction. But I'm saying, man, BYU, another dumpster fire. Played so good against the Fresno's that opened up. I mean, against Baylor. UCLA and Oregon. I'm a unicorn, get me? UCLA and Oregon. Y'all better fasten your seatbelts for this one. And it's true confession time for Vegas Rosie here tonight. I couldn't stand Bo Nix when the year began. He came through the transfer portal. He was cocky as hell. Saw him at the press conferences, talking all his nonsense, well, you know, the praise the Lord and all that. You know, okay, man, we get it. He opens the season against Georgia, and Georgia wins like 48-7. And I'm like, this is great, right? This kid has gotten his ass kicked like he deserves, okay? And ever since that opening loss, they have gone 6-1. UCLA was undefeated coming into this game. Okay, I believe that, yes, they were undefeated coming into this game. Were they? I don't know. Anyway, I'm saying when they met, it's another case. If you get behind on Oregon, like 17-0 in the first quarter, it's basically you're not going to crawl out of that hole. Playing up in Aston Field in Oregon, you're not gonna crawl out of the hole. Okay, they scrapped, they clawed. But at the end of the day, UCLA showed that they were an inferior team to Oregon. I drank the Kool-Aid. UCLA drank the Kool-Aid. But football is 4 quarters. And I've noticed some of these elite schools will go into a game and they will blow apart the first quarter. They'll be down like 17-0. It's like Texas A&M. It's like they take the quarterback and turn him around. He was facing the wrong way. Man, we're going this way. Look at it, pissing down his leg. Can't get lined up. Center, he didn't even under the center. The guy hikes the ball off his leg. It happens fast. You look at how fast Oregon, the tempo that they play is fierce. Right? It's almost like we get on the field, we get the job done in 3.5 minutes, and then we sit down and we surf our phones and just chill out till it's showtime again. Some of these elite teams cannot face playing high tempo teams. Okay? Oregon will win the Pac-12. And I'm going to go, you win better, Luce, and I'm going to declare here now that when I get back to Vegas, I'm going to put money on the futures for Oregon. Not a lot, but just a rooting interest for me in the futures for the whole ball of wax. I studied that game like crazy. I watched that game. This kid, who I couldn't stand this kid, is 6 feet 4 inches tall and like 220 pounds. Bo Nix, the quarterback. I mean, the guy's built like a fullback. Okay, like a halfback, running back. He doesn't give a shit if he takes off with the ball. I mean, you're gonna get punished by this dude. All right, this dude is going. Good night, Flan. This dude is going to win games. He's got the confidence. I think that Oregon could beat Ohio State. I think Oregon could beat Alabama. I think Oregon could give Georgia the game of the year. I know y'all are like, oh, it's nuts. Look at Oregon's running game. Look at the precision passing that Bo Nix exhibited. Okay. I'm going to sip a little Kool-Aid. All right. Because I saw something that I didn't see in the Georgia games. Georgia's got the great back. I know that. Alabama's got the good backs. But as far as firing this ball with precision and with being a sturdy, big-ass quarterback, there's something there that Oregon showed me. And I think they let up a little bit. Yeah, they could have played a little better. UCLA came back a bit. But then when it came to all said and done, Nix grabs his nuts again, and they take the ball down the field and they seal it. All right. I mean, it's like I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Okay. There's just something that stood out with this game that I watched and said, wow. This is like the most elite play I've seen this year. And I've seen Georgia, I've seen Alabama, I've seen Ohio State. Ohio State's lumpy, okay? I'm not drinking that Kool-Aid of Stroud, and I'm not going to do it. Okay? The wheels fell off the cart. That's just demoralized, all right? Wisconsin lost money on that. I thought Purdue would have given a better effort. Finally, Wisconsin decides they're going to play football again. Okay, I didn't know light was going to turn on. Okay, I guess we're going to play this week. Right? LSU in Mississippi. I drank the Kool-Aid because I won money on Clemson at playing LSU. Wow. The most painful loss. Oh, I've been studying. I'm taking notes loose. It gets harder as the year goes on because the lines get sharper and sharper, and to get an edge becomes harder and harder. So you almost have to have a leap of faith and confidence to say, I think that this team can win. I think they can overcome the 7 points or whatever, the 7.5, the 10.5. I think that they can do it. It's hard. Right. The guys taking the points have been laughing. And Ole Miss, what, did they get their drawers dropped and bent over in that game? That's all I'm going to say. LSU 6-2. Is it possible that we're seeing a team in Baton Rouge starting to push up into the elite class? It very well could be. I'm not ready to mortgage a house on them, but I have liked the way that they have rounded into form. And finally, Lane Kiffin's Ole Miss runs into a really good quality football team, and they pay the price 45-20. Now, Ole Miss was up like 17 points, and they pissed down their leg and they gave the game away. I don't back teams that do that. Okay, there's some basic flaw in their training, in their prep work, that became apparent in that game. All right, that flaw was underrating LSU. What was it, like 2.5 points? I'm thinking, yeah, I got Ole Miss in 2.5 points. I'm laying good. Buck, 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 buck. Loss. Boston College, Wake Forest, who cares? Florida International, Charlotte, who cares? Memphis, Tulane, who cares? Marshall and James Madison won. I did not like what I saw when James Madison blew apart against Georgia Southern last week. All that Marshall had to do, and I'm not a big Marshall fan, okay? They beat Notre Dame. Everybody cheered, oh, this is outstanding. They studied the game films. They looked at James Madison. They went in and they won 26-12. Okay. I didn't drink the Kool-Aid on James Madison snapping back. All right. James Madison played at home. They never lose at home. And I still bet on Marshall to go in there and win. And they did. Okay? Which means to me, Marshall's the one that could be a little money in the bank going forward, depending on who they're playing. Okay? They didn't get over that loss, and teams have studied that, how you beat James Madison University. Now, there's no shame in the game. They're 5-2. I mean, they've had a hell of a grade. They're not going to a bowl game anyway because they're changed. They changed conference and stuff. They have great coaching. Coach Signetti's outstanding. Not one of these big mouths like this Dan Landing and these sons of bitches and Nardelli and Jimbo. All right, at least, well, I'm not going to go there, but I'm just going to say, all right, cashed on that one. Georgia Southern, I picked them. They did the job against Old Dominion. Thank you. I'm not a big Old Dominion fan here. And then we got Vanderbilt in Missouri. Who cares? Stanford. See, I don't like the hook. No, not even a hook. We had Stanford was 2.5 points or something favorite. And again, they just pissed down their leg. They won the game, but they couldn't move the ball against Arizona State. Cost. I really thought bouncing out of that win last week at at Notre Dame when they went in. All right, here we go. We're gelling. They gelled. They won the game. But no way, shape, or form did they cover the spread. Okay. All right, disappointment. And Fresno State, who cares? Mississippi State and Alabama. I mean, come on, man. 30-6. I don't know. Boise State won for us. I don't know. Air Force was like an 8-point favorite or something like that. That did the job for us because I think Boise State is a money-making team right now. Once that Bachmeier hit the transfer portal and basically told Boise State to screw off, declared himself that he's going to be back for year number 10 of college football or whatever. Y'all sit out the rest of the year. Man, what a worm. It's the best thing that ever happened to Boise. You could make money if you played the turnaround on this team. Because remember, they were a dumpster fire. Under Bachmeier. Mark your cards for Boise State. They're not going to go gentle into that good night. Are they an elite team? Hell no. Can they do it up in the West? Hell yeah. In the mountain? Of course they can. And they will. All right. Penn State and Minnesota. In no way, shape, or form was I buying the Minnesota Kool-Aid. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Nope. Nope, nope. They came off an ugly win, ugly loss the week before. I can't remember, Illinois or whoever. Yay, Illinois, love you. Minnesota's like a favorite? Are you kidding me? I would have put $1,000 on Penn State. Come on, man. Even Penn State coming off that ass beating from last week. Stick a fork in Minnesota. I mean, it was good while it lasted. You cracked the top 20. Okay, but reality came in. You're not an elite team. You're fun. You're good. But your defense is not. It's not good. Okay, look at the cupcakes that you played in that. All right, let's be real. Right, they grant you a spot into the top 25 just because you show up. Hey, Jen, how you doing? Right. Colorado and Oregon State. Who cares? UCF and East Carolina. What the hell happened to UCF? Failure to do my homework. East Carolina. East Carolina. I'm not going to overreact. Okay, but I got my doubts now. Okay, another costly loss. I didn't think that they would roll over top of UCF, but I thought that they would cover the spread. And they ended up getting their asses handed to them. I need to do some more work and figure out and see some more highlights and some more reels to see what the hell happened in that game. Kansas State and TCU. Covered the spread, one for me. I have never lost on, well, I did lose on TCU in two ways. Okay. No, did I? No, we won on, yeah, we did win on TCU. I'm trying to think last. Let me grab my book real quick. Oh shit, yeah, because we had Oklahoma State and TCU under 68.5, and we were sitting good at the end. Oklahoma scores a touchdown, there's like a minute left. Oh, we're good, man. Next thing I know, we're in overtime, we're scoring 80 points or something like that. Okay. Hey Dodgy, if I fuck up, I tell you guys, okay? I'm up 10 units, I'm happy, right? If you're betting 1,000 a game, you're up 10,000 on my pick so far. Could it be better? It always can be. We regress to the mean, 7 and 10 this week, but we grab them and we move forward. But TCU is money in the bank. Okay. This team, big quarterback again, big strapping strong guy. I can't Doogie or whatever his name is, Doogie Howser or whatever. I don't know. What's the quarterback's name over there loose for TCU? This team is good. Sonny Dykes got this team thinking that they're going to win every game. And even when they're looking rough, they still get out there and motivated, and they find a way to win the game. And they do it week in and week out. That's nice. 440 on TCU. Nice job. You can just back this team, and back this team. How deep are they going to go? I don't know. I'd love to see TCU play Ohio State. I'd love to see TCU play Georgia. I'd love to see TCU play Alabama, Oregon. But we have to wait for that stuff. We have to earn the right to see those games. Yeah, Max Dugan. Man, this kid is good. He's a big, husky, big guy, just like Bo Nix. It'd be a great game. It would be a great game. And you know what? I would have to take TCU. All right. Because the coaching is just superb at this point in time. And they just believe that they can win every game, even if they're down. I've seen them be down 10 points and come storming back. There's a will to win on this team that's just puts them at an elite level like a Oregon. Right. I don't know if I want to put, hate my guts if you want Ohio State and, put Georgia up. I don't know. I'm thinking about Stroud. I'm thinking about, Michigan. And, I don't like J.J. McCarthy, but what the hell? Can TCU run with the big dogs? They can. And if you don't think that somebody from Ohio State, Alabama, and Georgia's not scouting these games and looking at these damn things, looking at this team, you got another thing coming. Same thing, if you got half a brain in your head, you're looking at Oregon and what they're doing on the West Coast. Oh, no, you're all SEC. Ooh, 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 ooh. But you got a wrecking ball out there on the West Coast. All right. TCU and Michigan. Who gave Michigan the best game of the year so far, Jen? The answer is, I'll wait for it. Yep. Tell me who gave Michigan the toughest game this year so far. And they were a little rattled when they went in. The ball's bouncing off the guy's helmet, his face mask, first kickoff. Right? Tell me, Luce, who gave Michigan the best battle of the year? The answer is Maryland. Maryland did. Maryland gave them the toughest battle, and Maryland is not an elite level school. Nor do I think Penn State is an elite level school. They're clawing at the door. I'm not going to get too baked into the transitive property. If A is equal to B and C is equal to B, then A is equal to B. I'm just saying. I know what my eyes tell me out here. I remember. All right. Okay. Washington, fucking 1 point. I got 1.5 points. No, I can't. My betting guy, he doesn't know about hooks and all this. So I just got to suck it up. I would have had a push, but we got the loss on because Cal showed up, and Washington State just pissed down their leg. They're not that good this year, but they got the job done. So who are the elite teams? TCU, definitely an elite team. Okay. That's one. I'm going to put LSU in elite category now. Oregon, 3. Oklahoma State, 4. Damn, sometimes I wonder about Texas Tech, but it just... Okay. Cincinnati, 5. Cincinnati's one of those claw your eyes out teams. Clemson, 6. Syracuse. If you want to, you can pop them in there. All right. 6. Tennessee, the cock of the walk. All right, we talked about it. I just think Tennessee. Okay, so we got 7. Ohio State, 8. And we got Georgia, 9. And Alabama 10 here. There, I think, are the elite ones. Who do I think is really playing at the top? Number 1, Tennessee. Number 2, flip a coin between TCU and Oregon. I actually think on any given day, Oregon, man, I would love to see an Oregon-Tennessee. Okay. To me, those three teams, I don't know, you can talk about your Ohio States and your Alabamas and Georgia. They're going to be there. But man, you look at the road that Tennessee has traveled, I mean, whoa. I don't know. That's why I love college football, because you just never know. Well, I've ranted and raved a lot here. So Wednesday night, we will be back with the picks here. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and hit the bell for all notifications. So what do we do? Lost Georgia Tech, lost Iowa, lost Purdue, lost UCLA, lost Texas A&M, lost UCF, lost Stanford, lost Ole Miss. Won Duke, won Georgia Southern, won Penn State, won TCU, won Marshall, won Troy, and won Boise State this week. So I think I'm going to do that too, Luce. I'm going to spread the wealth around a little bit here and lay out a couple of future bets down there. And I think I'm going to feel pretty good about things. So on that note, guys, I'm going to close it out. I hope you love college football as much as I do. The pro game, as time goes on, it's just missing something that it used to have. That I don't think the level of excitement is as high. Maybe, Luce, you feel the same? I don't know. I feel like this is a very, blah year for football. We don't really have any sensational stories. The big stories have been injuries. The big stories have been fallen stars. I just don't know. The Eagles continue to perform well at an elite level. I think Dallas is really coming on. I don't think the Ravens will ever get over their lumpiness and things, but we shall see. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Thumbs up are appreciated. If you've not hit the thumbs up button, please take a second to do so. I love these college football and pro football shorties that we do a couple times a week. They are a lot of fun. Yeah, we talked earlier, go back, Jen, and watch from, I started with pro football tonight, and Packers are truly a dumpster fire this year. So, all right, guys, well, thank you, Queenstown. Good to see you. Loose 72, a.k.a. the Swami. Thanks for being here tonight, Jen. Everybody else for popping by. On that note, I am going to close it out and wish everybody a very good night. Isn't that the coolest helmet? Especially when they win. All right, guys, thanks a lot.